Good morning to our littles. I have to say it's been a few years since I have been with you guys and taught you guys, but I'm excited to share with you this morning. There is a video on our website that talks about this story, so I hope you've watched it. If you haven't, go ahead and go back and watch it now. Mary and Martha and Lazarus were really good friends of Jesus. Take a second and talk to your parents about who are your very best friends in the whole world. Jesus was out teaching and healing others in different places, and he wasn't right with Mary and Martha and Lazarus at this very moment. Jesus was actually beside the Jordan River. That's where he was teaching. So take your hands and pretend like you're making the gentle flow of the river for me. Pretend like you're Jesus and you're standing up and you're teaching, and some of the time you stop teaching and you go to pray. And all of a sudden, one day, when Jesus was teaching, someone came and ran to him. He was really out of breath because he had a very important message. And the message was to tell him that Lazarus, his friend, was really sick. Jesus loved Lazarus. He was more like a brother to him than just a friend. When Jesus got the news, you would think that he would drop everything right then and run. Show me how quick you would run to get to one of your friends that you thought was hurting or was really sick. Show me how fast you would run. But what Jesus did is kind of surprising. Jesus didn't run straight to Lazarus. He waited for 2 days. How many days did he wait? He waited for 2. And finally he took off and he headed to see his friends. And whenever he got there, he found out that Lazarus had already been dead for 4 days. 4 days is a really long time. And Martha ran out to Jesus first, and I imagine that she fell at his feet and she was gripping hold tight to his robe and saying, "Oh, Jesus, if you had only been here," because Jesus has the power to heal. And they didn't understand why he didn't come right then, because he had been healing all of these other people, and they were upset because Jesus didn't come right then and healed their brother, and now he's dead. And Mary came out and she said the same thing. She said, "Jesus, if only you had been here, if only you had been here, our brother would still be alive." And they loved Jesus, but they were a little bit upset at him because he didn't drop what they were doing right then and run to get to him, just like you guys pretended to do. Mary and Martha were really sad, and they were really frustrated because they had dreams, and their dreams were about their family being together, and now it looks like all of those dreams are kind of broken. Dreams are things that you really want to happen. Like you feel it deep inside of your belly. Like if your mom comes home from the store and she has a box of popsicles, and you see the box of popsicles and you really want them. That is a dream that you have, to have the popsicle right then. Kaden does that to me all the time. I have to say, "Nope, you have to wait a minute." So when Kaden doesn't get the popsicle, he's a little bit upset at me, and it's kind of like a broken dream because he's not really getting what he wants. So Martha and Mary are a little bit upset, and they feel like this is a broken dream because their family can't be together. But Jesus has a very big plan for their family. He is going to surprise them. Think about a time that you've been really surprised. Maybe your family took you on a surprise bowling trip. Maybe your mom came home and she had a balloon for you. Think about, for a second, something that surprised you. Now show me how you acted when you were surprised. Mary and Martha were in for a really, really big surprise. They had broken dreams, but Jesus had a huge plan for them. Jesus went to the tomb where Lazarus was, and he cried. He really loved Lazarus. But then he said, "Lazarus, get out here." And it may have looked kind of like this.
Get out!
So Lazarus comes out and he's supposed to be dead, and everyone is so surprised. So make your really, really surprised face again. That is how Mary and Martha felt because their brother was alive again. Sometimes we have broken dreams. Thinking about the popsicle again, maybe if you had eaten that popsicle, do you know what would have happened? You wouldn't have been able to eat your supper. And what if you tried something new at supper and you found out it was your most favorite food ever? You wouldn't have known it had you have eaten that popsicle and not been able to try the new food. What happens sometimes is that the way that we want things to work out in our dreams, sometimes they don't, like Hayden not getting that popsicle as soon as I got home. But what we find out is that Jesus has an even bigger plan for us. There are flowers called dandelions that grow outside. You've probably seen them. My sister and I used to pick them, and we would tie them up together and we would make beautiful things like crowns and bracelets and necklaces, and we just thought we were the queens of the entire world. But there's something I didn't know. The white flowers that are outside, and I've always called them wishing flowers. You pick them up and you blow them like this and you make a wish, and you see all of the little white puffy things spread out, and each one of those are supposed to be a wish. So when you wish it, your wish is supposed to come true. What I didn't know is that is actually a dandelion too. They weren't really wishing flowers. They're called dandelions. They're the same flower. The white puffy flowers are when the dandelions are dying. Isn't that so strange? So out of each one of those seeds that you blow, guess what happens? The seeds fall on the ground, and some of the time, brand new dandelions grow. So out of this dead flower comes brand new flowers. So sometimes what happens is whenever our dreams get broken and it's really hard and we're really sad because we didn't get to do what we wanted to do, sometimes beautiful things happen and we get a whole bunch of dandelions growing that we can pick and make new crowns with. This afternoon, when you get a chance, you can wrap yourself up like Benton did. If we were here on a Sunday morning, what we would do is use toilet paper, but do not grab your parents' toilet paper to wrap up like Lazarus. They would not be happy with me. Use blankets instead and wrap up and go into a really dark room and pretend like you're Lazarus and have your parents or your brother and sister call your name and say, "Get out here." And pretend like you're Lazarus walking out. And just like Benton did in the video, Benton danced. I think that Lazarus danced whenever he came out of the tomb because he had a brand new life. So after you pretend like you're Lazarus, come out and do your best dance ever. I want you to think about all of the things that you're thankful for. Talk to your parents about what you're so happy you have right now. I know that everything looks a little bit different right now, just like us not being together in the D zone today. But there are so many things for you to be thankful for. You get to see your parents a lot more right now. Our family has been eating ice cream almost every single day, and that's not something that we usually get to do. So talk to your parents about the things that are making you happy right now, because you guys get to be at home so much together. These are brand new dreams that Jesus has given us because things are a little bit different, and we're thankful for the new things that God is doing. Let me pray for you guys. So be really, really still and put your hands together and bow your heads and close your eyes. Dear Jesus, we love you so much. And I know these kids probably aren't very afraid at all of what is going on right now. And I'm so happy for that. I'm so happy that they are just loving their time with their families, and they get to do amazing things like playing outside and maybe even getting to go outside and dance in the rain. We pray, Lord, that you would help us to remember that sometimes the things that we want are not exactly what you want for us, and our dreams are really, really small. Help us to be patient and to wait for you and for your big dreams that you have for us, because they're so much better than what we could want for ourselves. We love you, and we pray all of this in your name. Amen. Hope to see you guys very soon.